What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Zenith Digital Podcast. Today we're continuing with international guests, but these international guests did something special. They came to Riga, to Latvia, visited me to record a podcast in real life. And today we are together with Tamas and Sergei. What's up, guys? How you doing?
That's good. Thanks for having us. Yeah, I mean, it has been a fun travel to here. So it's
How's been in Riga?
Yeah.
Very
the
rainy,
weather.
very rainy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sunny before you came. Like the day before I was walking around, it was so hot. But like, I guess bad luck. It
Yeah.
happens.
happens. But yeah, but I mean, other than that, you showed us the city a bit, so it was pretty good. It was a small city, but I think it's like also a good thing that you can come from A to Z.
Nice
So-
history as well.
Yeah.
So where are you guys from? What's your
Yeah.
origin story?
So me and Tamas, we're from Austria. We were going to the same school. That's kind of how we actually met, became friends, and I mean, it got us to where we're at right now. But yeah, we're from
Yeah, that's
Austria,
true.
and
Don't worry about it. Cameras or me, it's fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And yeah, but we also have some other roots. My mother's from Bulgaria.
I'm from Hungary, like originally, and I moved to Austria when I was like 7. So I actually was born in Hungary. And yeah, as said, we just met, I think, 4 or 5 years ago or something, but immediately became best friends. We had like very similar, how do I say?
Yeah, hobbies, interests.
hobbies. Yeah.
What are those interests?
Yeah, we were both playing piano, for example.
Piano.
For me, I was a bit longer, but he was like kind of, he was beginning to play piano. So
He taught me basically how to play piano professionally.
yeah, and
Professionally, did you do any competitions?
not competitions, but I have concerts where I play classical music. I've been playing since I was 6 years old. Before that, I also have some musical history, so I was also like always a bit interested in music. But other than that, I think the most bonding point between us was martial arts, because he does
Martial
wrestling even longer than I do boxing. I do boxing. He does wrestling
Yeah.
like for a long time already.
I started like when I was 4 because of my father. He was a wrestler as well, so that's how I became.
So you can walk around any city with no worries.
Yeah, and for me, it was a bit later. I started with like, can't even remember, probably 11, 12 years old. So yeah, I started boxing. My father sent me there. It was pretty random actually. I was coming back from school, and then I just got a call from my father. Yo, you have your first training today. You gotta go. And so that's how my martial arts, career started, if you want to call it like this. And yeah,
So you guys are experts in like professional music, classical music. So you know all the structures, the notes, everything, and you're also professional fighters as well.
Yeah,
So you can play some nice music and then beat anybody up.
nice combi.
How did this lead to venturing into the business world?
Yeah, well, I mean, as said, we were like checking out what is he doing. We had similar hobbies as well. And then, yeah, when was that? September 2023. I actually started my own theme page alone, so I didn't tell anybody. It was like in a German niche. So basically, I tried this Andrew Tate kind of theme page, and I also made my first sale in like a course. It was called, I don't know how it was called, but I made my first sale. Like the customer told me that he bought from me, from my link, from my affiliate link, and I didn't even receive the commission. So I was basically scammed by the mentor, and I also messaged him, and he was like, yeah, he probably didn't even bought from you, and he doesn't want to tell you that he didn't bought from your affiliate link. So basically I stopped then because it demotivated me. I was like 15 at that time. And then a year later, I actually sat down with SJ, and then, yeah, our idea was that we create a brand new motivational page, because on TikTok, you saw it everywhere. Like everybody was doing motivational kind of stuff. And that's what we did. We just sat down and then designed the whole page, basically.
yeah.
So this is like faceless content.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
social media.
To be even more specific, I think that was at a time where we were going a bit away from martial arts, but got into the gym. So that
Yeah.
was a big time where we were going to the gym like every day. We got our first like membership. Everyone else was in school, and we were just, and we were kind of this gym buddies. So we were always going to the gym. And I remember were talking like a lot during the gym. Like if I have to imagine like the first steps of building this first business, it was always talking in the gym.
Yeah.
So
True.
yeah, but as he said, we started this. That was actually the first step into our business. And yeah, I mean, our first page, Chase My Goal, it was called. Also, like, it's a funny story how we sat down at evening, we were on Discord and we were talking, like, how should we name our page? What is intriguing? What is engaging? And so we decided to go into the motivational niche. So it wasn't this Wi-Fi niche, it wasn't this, yeah, selling, but it was actually more motivating
Inspiring, yeah.
because it was at a time where David Goggins was very, very popular. And I think that was even our first video. I think our
Yeah.
very first video, also like our first ever real editing experience. I think we can also mention I used to run a YouTube page, like not page, but a YouTube account when I was like really young. So with like probably 8 years old, I started my like doing YouTube. I also did vlogs, and but mostly gaming. So I was also like a real nerd when it was about gaming. But yeah, but coming back to the point, it was our first really editing experience. Like we were downloading CapCut, we watched tutorials. How do we do the captions? How do we make it interesting? We need a brand design. Like all these new words just came to us, and yeah, we just gave it a shot, tried. We didn't think much about it, and just started posting. And I think that was the first.
For how long were you just consistently posting?
Like, I think 6 months, because we already had like great success. We had one video on Instagram and with 40 million, actually.
40 million.
40 million. I think 3 million likes or something.
Yeah.
On TikTok, we also had 10 million views, 7, and also like a lot of like million views videos. And we were actually consistent from day one. So we posted every single day, 6 months.
One video per day? Or
Yeah,
more?
one video per day. And then like around January, like New Year's 2024, it came into our mind because we didn't actually monetize the whole page. That was the whole idea, basically, to build up a following and then, I don't know, try to monetize it like the audience. I mean, we couldn't do anything because we couldn't sell a product. We tried to sell some motivational PDF that didn't work as well. And then some guy actually like DM'd us to participate in his, I don't know what it was, it was like an affiliate
program.
program,
It
but
was really random. It was really random. I think
yeah.
we have to emphasize on this and how random this was, because we actually never responded to any like requests on DMs. Obviously, there were always these guys, yeah, I can be your video editor, but we don't know if they're legit, whatever. We just ignored them. But there was this one guy, still remembering his name, by the way, Spark Hustles.
Yeah.
Spark Hustle.
Yeah.
Still remember his name. He was basically in the same niche as we were. Like he was also doing motivation, and I assume, I mean, until now we just kind of know what it was actually about. He was an affiliate, and they were running a campaign where they should like get as many people into the program as possible. And he was one of these affiliates he was just like, his task was to get as many people in for free. And
Big creators.
Yeah, and that's how we got in.
As well. So like the program is getting people in for free and you get paid for it?
I mean, he was probably an expert of it's actually a course on how you can make money with like theme pages or like faceless
so he
pages.
recruited you guys not to be affiliates, but just to join the program.
Yeah, because I think he was already an expert. He already made a lot of money, and he was probably a friend of the founders or something. And that's why his task was to, just DM big creators, to affiliate for them, and to expand the whole program or course. So that's how we got in. And then we tried to sell it's like in the Wi-Fi niche. It's not in the motivational niche anymore, the program.
Wi-Fi niche? What's the Wi-Fi
That's
niche?
like a money niche,
Wi-Fi money.
Yeah, Wi-Fi
internet money. Yeah, I got it.
That was the niche of the whole program, and that's why it also didn't work on our page. You cannot, sell Wi-Fi niche
to people who just need help. For push-ups and stuff.
Yeah, for motivation. So that's when, I think in February, we also talked to the founders Lex and Martin, by the way, if you see this, shout out to you. We talked with them, and they said that we have to just try a brand new page, like to completely delete, or not delete the old one, but stop posting there, because the Wi-Fi content didn't work there. We had 50k views average on the motivational page, and then with the new content that immediately dropped to like 2k or something. And yeah, that's when we decided to completely start a new page. I think it wasn't Faceless. It was like Lex came up with this idea. Like, it was a hybrid page, we call. It's when the whole page looks personal, but the content is faceless. So you have like a personal profile picture, personal bio, and everything, also stories, but you don't want to record the content by yourself. And that's what we came up with, like the whole program. I think it started with like a little community with 50 people that tries this content out, and it worked really, really well. I mean, we both started one page, and from those 50 people, we were the first one achieving the first sales. Then also the first 5 sales, everybody else didn't achieve anything yet. And that's how we came close to the founders, to Lex and Martin, who we work with still to this day, expanding the whole company. And yeah, that's when our first money success, let's say, started, I think.
So this page, this hybrid page, a hybrid between personal brand and faceless content.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a bit confused how it works. So like you're not putting like David Goggins and like other creators. You're just putting B-roll with your own voice on it.
Yeah, so that was a completely new style from back then. Instead of now using these famous guys, we were using POV clips. That means people just filming some stuff, for example, cars, or just showing off a watch. There are a lot of clips on there online. You can just take them.
View clips especially, but now not with their own face. It's just view clips, POV of doing some fancy stuff, getting into nice cars or something.
Yeah, and regarding the profile, to make it also look as personal as possible, either some people had the courage to put themselves up just for the profile picture, they didn't have to do anything else, or they can do like a side profile picture, so you only see the back of them and the side of them, so they don't really see themselves, or they just take some kind of anonymous picture of somebody else, so it at least looks like there's a real person behind this. But there are no more logos, no more brand logos, whatever. Actually persons. That means when people look at your account, they see it's a person.
And so the username should be like a name, an actual name, because the whole purpose of this is when you scroll through your feed, you know, that you see a video and you don't see this logo, oh, it's another theme page, you know. You saw the picture, profile picture, as it would be in like a personal brand, but actually you don't want to record because a lot of people don't want to show themselves online. And that's how we came up with this content type, because it's easy to produce and it has the best conversion rate at that time, because people trusted us, because we had the story. They actually saw that there's a person behind the whole logo and not, let's say, a whole team. And that's why you could gain a lot of trust, a lot of authority, and that's how you could also basically sell a product very easily at that time.
So you started with just faceless content with you got large numbers, like millions of views, but there was no conversions
Exactly.
on that page. So you like that didn't work as a business model. So you changed the concept to a hybrid, like faceless content with a personal brand interface, I guess.
Yeah,
some sort of like that. Are you still doing that, or you're moving away from it?
Yeah, I mean, we still continued the page, and then because it worked so well, Lex told us to do a whole community. I think that's important to mention before we move to the personal branding, that we started a whole community with people. People get in for free, and we teach them how to make the same as we do, because we had a very great page and we wanted to show it to everybody. And obviously we get a cut of the sales they bring in, and they get a cut as well. And this is how we scaled the whole community. It worked really, really good. I think Lex provided us with traffic, so people like poured into the community. It was a Discord community. We recorded the whole course, how you can do the exact same thing that we do as well. And we expanded the community. I think there was a time where 1,000 people were in, 1,200. I mean, that was a peak, I think. But summer 2024 was actually our best months. Let's say how the whole community generated, I think, $250,000 like dollars revenue in like 2 months, let's say.
The whole community.
Whole community, yeah.
That's crazy. And what this community was selling? What was the product?
So yeah, that was actually a new product. Basically, the updated version of the product that we got into before. So in the very beginning, we were joining for free to this one product, but this product got upgraded. And basically what we did, we got in for free. We provided the people to join that community, like our community, for free. But the thing is, they were selling our product. Because now that we were close with the founders, with Lex and Martin, they said us, yeah, take the product, you can sell it, you can get percentages of it. That means whenever somebody else sold it from the community, we would get a percentage of that. And so that was basically what the whole business model was about.
Yeah, and what's the product? Like what were these pages?
Yeah, basically how to do a Instagram page, which brings in a cash flow.
Yeah.
But it's not hybrid, but it's more of, again, going more into theme pages.
It's more general. It's not like very specific a content type, but teaching Instagram marketing in general, and how you can actually monetize an Instagram page.
Yeah, so just everything that you need to know about starting a page on Instagram and how to get leads, how to get views, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that was last summer.
Last summer, yeah.
You're still doing that, or
No,
on to new heights?
New heights, because I think after this big boom that we had, I said $250,000 in the revenue, it actually flopped because the content type wasn't trusted anymore. So it basically, like, the personal brands replaced the whole algorithm, I say, because if people saw this AI content, they just scrolled away. I think till last week we tried to heal the whole community, because we hadn't any results. Like, we didn't have any results within the community. People were not motivated as much because obviously there were no results. I mean, people still liked us. We still had weekly meetings and stuff. So it was still a bonded community, although it wasn't a business program anymore. Like, the people didn't really care. And our page got restricted on Instagram as well. That was also
Like shadow banned or something?
shadow banned, and also we got banned because of fraud and scam or something. That was the time where Instagram had this AI restriction system in there.
Where you have to label if it's AI or something, yeah? Or
Not exactly. It was just a time where Instagram had this AI bot, or this AI integrated.
They had like a system that just banned people without actually. I mean, a lot of people got banned without any reason. I mean, my personal page, where I didn't post anything, like, not personal brand, my actual personal, where my friends and families, it got banned as well, because I don't know why, because it was connected to the other pages. It was just an AI system and not an actual person behind it that checks the page, So everybody, like, a lot of people got restricted or banned without legit reason, basically.
Interesting. I didn't know this even happened.
That was November, October last year.
That was also a big reason for the downfall of this business model, because every page just was getting banned. They were just creating a new account, banned, because Instagram saw this pattern, because all of the guys were using similar names, similar bios.
Yeah.
And so, that's basically the reason also why it was a hard time to keep everything up and keep up then with the content that now worked.
So that's on Instagram, but on TikTok?
We didn't post on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because like the Wi-Fi money niche wasn't really always popular, I think, on TikTok. TikTok wasn't a fan of monetizing a page, I think. That's why they didn't push. I think still to this day. They don't really push this kind of Wi-Fi money
Yeah,
pages.
and plus it's very hard to automate on TikTok as well. On Instagram, there's a lot to be automated, which also it was also a big thing back then to automate comments, for example, with ManyChat. When people commented, automatically it will get a reply, boosting the engagement. Because back then, engagement was the most important thing. Then come watch time, whatever. But yeah, that was also not really possible with TikTok or YouTube as well. So that's why we purely focus on Instagram.
This was also a point because of the restrictions. Like I think there was a time Instagram didn't really like those automations. So I mean, I think sometimes you couldn't even comment anything. Like as a creator, you didn't see it.
Yeah.
The comment.
For example, one very popular keyword was W. You know, like a lot of people said, yeah, follow me and comment W.
Yeah, W's in the chat.
Yeah.
Exactly. And whenever people actually commented W, it would just get removed. The thing is, if there are no comments, our program will not recognize this. That means will not send a message out, meaning will not sell. So that was also a big thing, which was really making things hard.
Basically, Instagram changed the whole game. They didn't like the content that is not personal anymore. They wanted more humans. I guess it's a fight against AI and all that stuff. So this whole business model falls together. What do you do now?
I mean, at the time where we saw that it's going down a bit and that the personal brands are replacing, we started our own personal brands as well. First of all, with the day in a life content. I don't know if you saw this, but it's like B-roll clips of you and then a voiceover. Although we came in a bit late, that was also very popular in summer, something like that. People were going crazy with like also like some brain rot stuff. So I go out and touch some grass before I do this. So we were a bit late there, but we got good results. I mean, not the best ones.
Yeah, it was just interesting to start something completely new, like starting from zero again. Because from now we were only focused on how can we make everything visually perfect, from the faceless stuff, the captions, all of that stuff. But now it's actually important how you present yourself.
How to film everything, how to talk, intonations,
perspectives, angles, and all of that stuff. Yeah.
He started first because I mean we were still going to the school, and I focused still on the Faceless community, and he started a personal brand because I didn't want to record myself. I didn't want that everybody sees my page or something. But then a month later I started as well, so they also saw the content. So hello. Now we're here in a podcast.
Funny to mention, you guys just finished your exams before you flew.
I mean, we still have some stuff to do, but the essential ones are done. Yeah. In June we have our last ones, and then the complete school is finally done.
So these guys we're doing all of this, the 40 million views, everything, while they're still studying math and stuff. So
some bullshit.
No excuses, guys. No
still
excuses.
strapped in the classroom. So
yeah, we did this everything while in school, while doing martial arts, while playing piano, family, friends still. So, I mean, it was a hard time. It's still a hard time, but I think it was worth it. I mean, we gained a lot of experience. Also, the personal brands, when we started, the Faces community was still there. We still tried to find some content type that actually works till last week. Last week we had our last meeting with our community.
Oh, so you closed it.
We closed the Faceless community because it wasn't worth our time. We have a lot of big things ahead. Also this podcast, the long form on YouTube, the personal brands, and it just takes a lot of time. The community lasted a year, I think.
Pretty much a year. Like
that's good.
We created it in May, and but
it was emotional.
But I also do want to say that even though maybe we closed down this community and maybe we didn't get much revenue now in the last months because of this downfall, I think we've learned very, very important skills. Also beginning, like starting this community, we were overwhelmed with managing all that stuff.
Mentorship.
Mentoring the people, being a leader. So I think that's also very, very important. I think that's worth the time that you get no money. Because also only focusing on the revenue, it's good for a time, but if you have nothing from that, what are you doing with your skills after this? If it dies out, you're left with nothing. Yeah. But in our case, with a lot of skills learned, And I think also a lot of confidence. I mean,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't bring us to the place that we're at right now.
What would be the most important skill that you have gained, each of you, one, from this past, like, I'm talking about the faceless content, like everything, you closed the chapter last week. So what would be a takeaway that you will forever bring with you?
So from the whole business model, or for only from the
And
community?
just from the time, like right now, we're sitting here.
Everything.
A week ago, you closed it. Like, what's the most important thing that you will bring with you further?
I mean, you could really argue, but I don't want to give an answer like discipline or persistence. But way much, I do think I will stand with my points that it's the leadership that you have, the mentorship. So that's definitely my point.
I agree. I also agree, like the mentorship skill that we gained. I mean, we could also talk about sales and marketing, but I think we're not there yet. We still have to learn a lot about sales and marketing, but mentorship, I mean, we can still learn about mentorship as well. But that skill is very, very important because, I mean, some people say if you're good at something, you can teach it to everybody, but it's just not like that. You really have to learn. You have to know what the people actually need, and you have to, if you want to mentor somebody, you have to view the thing in his perspective and not in yours. And that's a skill that you have to learn. You have to learn how to talk in the course, how to talk in the lessons, how to teach them. And that's, I mean, the past year was just turning around mentorship. So that's why this is the skill. I think that's the most valuable that we learned.
Yeah, I think what I should also not forget is like especially the teamwork that we had.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do this alone. And I mean, on one side, you could say, yeah, it's not as stressy. But on the other side, you always have instant feedback. That means if I do something completely wrong, he will correct me, and vice versa. So it's also very important. And even though like we had discussions, like I say, yo, this is better. No, this is
our
better.
ego, you know.
But so I would also definitely say, even though maybe many people say don't mix business with friendships, I think at like looking at the big picture, it did strengthen our friendship.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, that's a big point with like building a business with two people, because as said, it's very, very important that you understand that like other people don't have the same perspective as you. Maybe you see this glass of water, bottle of water, but maybe he's seeing it differently, you know, or something. I mean, that's a weird example now, but for example, the content that we produced, he said, "Oh my God, it's the best content that I've produced." And I check it and I say, "No, here's a mistake, here's a mistake, here's a mistake," and he doesn't see this, you know. So that's why also I think the business was working, because we both were on the side, and it was very, very not it was way easier than alone. I mean, the whole community, the value, everything.
So you can kind of see the blind spots of each other that you wouldn't see while doing it alone.
Exactly.
100%.
I would definitely agree. I mean, we got Carlos there checking the blind spots that I cannot see on the cameras right now.
Yeah.
And when he's not here, I told you guys, like, I recorded one podcast like this already. But I can fix it in editing as well. But you know, it's way easier if there's somebody seeing the things you cannot. I would definitely agree. You guys said there was a situation where your school found out that you did faceless content.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So I think we would start with your first experience. Yeah.
I mean, I also posted on YouTube Shorts, and yeah, it blew up the first week. I think I got 10K views on a short, 12K, something like that. In the first 7 or 14 posts, I didn't even imagine that it's going to blow up. But yeah, then I just walk around the school, and then some random guy from his class, because we don't go in the same class, he just comes to me, "Oh, I'm a subscriber." I'm like, "What?"
And then he says you're
Yeah, he
YouTube
says,
name.
great to Tamas, I'm a subscriber and stuff. And then I'm like, oh no, whole school's going to find out. And then the next day I was like really scared to go. But I mean, I think he didn't tell anybody or something. Still to this day, I mean, that was the first time that we had a bit of like what's going to happen. But then the second second point is yours.
Yeah, so I was walking down the hallway in my school, and one guy from a different class, not my class, not his class, just a different, like, random guy, just passes me, gives me the more, just dap him up, say hello. But he says, create a Sergej. And I'm just passing, I'm like, this face, like, all right. I was just thinking, okay, I know people now know everything, because if he knows, I know he's like a guy who tells everybody. So, yeah, I was talking with a different guy who's a good friend of him, but he goes to my class, and I'm pretty good with him, like, we're good friends. And I sat down with him, I went on a call with him, and I just asked, what do you guys know? Yeah, very shortly said, they sat down in a group and went through our whole funnel. They went through everything that we got, our Discord servers. They watched every landing page that we had and just analyzed, what do we do? Like, they were so interested and just watched the whole content that we made. And yeah, from then on, I knew, all right, I don't think there's any reason to hide anymore. Nothing keeping secret. So we're just going all in. We don't care anymore. I mean, it was at a time where we didn't really care anymore anyway. So yeah, but what we should say is definitely at that time, everything was out, and I knew now it's just keep going, not getting any thoughts of any negative thoughts, anything like this. I didn't really care. I find it funny because they just looked at our stuff like for hours, spending a whole night.
Much time.
Yeah, if they look at this, gotta be honest.
I mean, everything was connected. We had the Faceless community at that time with the two personal brands. We had the long form then. Then we had different Discord communities as well, where Lex and Martins were basically the leaders. And everything was connected. We were in this Discord, we were admins, we were co-founders, stuff like this. And they came into every single Discord. They watched every single page, every single landing page, everything. And they said they had like whole like circle. Oh my God! And told SJ, everything is so connected. What do you guys do?
Yeah, they were like really like they couldn't. They're surprised. They were shocked. They were like, I still don't know what you do, because they were just going down into this rabbit hole, but they couldn't find out like what exactly do we do, because I mean, I guess they just didn't commit even more. But I mean, it was also like really funny for us to hear that they went through all of our stuff without even us knowing. Yeah. But I'm thankful that this one guy, shout out to you, actually told me everything. So at least it's not behind the back or something, but it's actually transparent. And from now on, we're also really transparent when it comes to our business. Like, we talk, we do this and that. I mean, just keep it humble. And I mean, at the end, it's just something that we do. We're not doing a crime. We're not doing anything special. I mean, we're just...
But still, a lot of people don't know, I think, in school, because they told like 6-7 people, but not like the whole school.
Yeah.
And then there was also one reel of SJ that went viral in Austria.
Like
And
locally.
Yeah, and my class also got his his video on the For You page. And one guy, he also told nobody, just one friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. I was in Stockholm with him at the moment. And then I also had a little talk with him what they know. I mean, they viewed it a little, how to say, skeptical, critical, because you're doing content on monetizing it and stuff. But then I explained everything, what the whole idea and reason behind the whole pages are, and then he also said, yeah, now it makes more sense now.
Yeah. Even though I think that at first glance maybe it seemed pretty, I don't want to say devastating, like shocking that they found out. I think it led to something very, very important. It led to us kind of change the mindset of how we should go about content, because
that's good.
Example, this friend, I'm also really close with him. He kind of had this skeptic feeling, because he only knew gurus in that field. And also my friends, they were sometimes joking around, 10K per month, just like imitating these gurus. But even though it's funny and jokes and all of that, it got us thinking, we don't want to be like them, like these gurus. And since that, we try to change up a few things. That's also like something we're currently, just remodeling as a whole big thing. It's just changing the way how
Others
we were
people see us.
Exactly. So we are not these gurus, but we actually want to be valuable persons with a valuable brand where people can actually learn something. And that's also why I think it's important to be transparent, like in a form of a podcast, talking about everything and not just showing the positive sides.
Yeah.
That's really insightful from these situations. I have one more question about the faceless pages, and then I want to move towards what you're doing right now.
Yes.
Do you guys know the dead internet theory?
No.
So it's like a theory that currently already only a small percentage of the internet is real people, and all of it is just bots arguing with each other.
Yeah.
So like I don't know how you feel about that concerning like faceless pages, because does that fall into that category of a dead internet, or you still believe there's like if you're making the faceless content, it still has a human element?
I mean, I don't think it's a good theory. I mean, in my perspective, because still with the faceless pages, there needs to be a person behind it that needs to check how is the content. Obviously, there are pages that are 100% AI generated, but in my opinion, even on faceless pages, there's at least one person that is behind the whole page. Mostly, it's like a whole team, because there's like one team that is like running 15 pages at once. But I think, I mean, I can imagine that people think it's just AI and bots, but I think there are also a lot of people still, and I think it's also better if that stays like that. I mean, we don't want like 90% bots arguing with each other.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, it's just stupid, but even though if something is AI, you can kind of see the difference between what is purely AI made, so without any human impact, nothing, and between something that were actually a human was behind this. Because in the end, I'm a believer of it that you can still feel some kind of emotion, some kind of maybe you can even call it like soul. It's maybe really metaphorical, but you can just feel it that there is something, a meaning talking to you. It's not just words, but actually something different. And I think we're not there yet, but I think that can change really quickly, that AI will also master this skill of just
Appearing as humans.
as human. Yeah, exactly.
Still, somebody has to check the content. I mean, if you really want to go viral, you cannot just post something. You know, you have to check the AI content as well. Maybe it's good, but somebody has to check it, and then there's still a person behind it. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting theory for me as well, because like if I go on like on X and you search like political posts and you check the comments and it's like heavy arguments, and you check both profiles that are arguing with each other, and it's like are they real? Do they do anything? You know, and it like concerns, because it can like even reading these arguments, like you can shape people's opinions
Yeah.
about stuff. And
Yeah,
about
it's definitely
nations
dangerous.
as well. Also, I know that like there are like these AI bots on X that are like fully automated bots that like post things, and there was an interesting situation earlier. There was the first ever fully automated money like exchange of value on X. There was like an AI bot that posted like a post like, hey, can somebody generate an image for me? And another AI bot answered, yeah, sure, for $1 I will generate you. And so these AI bots both have like crypto accounts connected to them. And so the other bot like sent money, and they checked it on the chain, and then the other one generated an image and posted it, like all live on X, like the first ever automated transaction happened. So like it builds a vision of this world where there's like the internet economy, the Wi-Fi money is also fully moving automated bots, like bots requesting things to be done for money. And then like the question about like how people enter into that, are there AI bots who are now giving out work for humans that they still cannot yet do themselves? It's like builds this dystopian reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is a whole philosophical and theoretical conversation. I want to talk about what you guys do right now. So you have the faceless content is done. That era ended for you. you're venturing into fully all in personal brands.
Yeah.
So that's also how I found you guys. You popped up on my For You page with one of the videos about how gurus make their money, and you had this brand up product that I checked out. I was like, it's interesting, so we started DMing, and that's how we got to here. So explain a bit more what that is, what you do now, what's the main focus.
So the whole idea behind Brand Up was that's basically then our own program, like own personal brand program, where we teach people how to build up the personal brand. So basically the product that we sold within the Faceless community, but now in a different niche, so in the personal brand niche. Although we created the product first and then started scaling our personal brand. That's a big mistake that people make. You need traffic first and then you can sell something. So basically we wasted a lot of time, let's say like that, making the perfect course, and now nobody actually sees it. We just don't, like, the marketing is just not good enough because our page is not big yet. And also the idea of Brand Up was that people build a personal brand based on a product that they can monetize it immediately. And we built this whole program when we didn't really know a lot about personal branding at the moment. So that's why yesterday we made like a big change, that we want to market it in a different way, and want to focus on actually building up our brands first rather than trying to sell something, because maybe it was because we didn't have a lot of results in the Faces community the last months. Maybe that was the whole thing, but now we changed our perspective completely. Now we want to completely focus on the long form content and also the short side, like on Instagram, the short form of our personal brand, while maybe trying to provide free value, so maybe free lesson, something, but we're not selling anything right away. And in order to save time, we actually gather some information how good the lessons are. We're just going to take the lessons from Brand Up, so that we don't waste a lot of time on the free training now, and then see if people really like it, and then obviously enhance it if people get in, and just see if it actually works. Does it give the people value? Does it match our audience? Because then we can, still continue with the content and provide value for our audience while building our names and our brand up.
So this change was yesterday or 2 days ago? Did you make it here? Or?
Yeah, we made it here.
Yeah, the final decision was made here. Yeah.
The final decision was made here, but yesterday actually here in this couch.
Nice. So live updates, real time updates. So are you giving, like, right now for free this product?
We still have to set it up, but it's going to be completely for free.
So by the time this podcast is out, you can check Brand Up. All the links will be in the description if you want to build your personal brand. And while it's still early, get some knowledge, and you don't have to pay right now. It's like, if you have made it this far to the podcast,
that's the reward.
Check it out. Yeah, that's the
For
reward.
Completely free, and if you're a complete beginner, so yeah.
So you teach, like, what consists in this program? Do you teach, like, how to edit videos and that stuff, or you're more like messaging oriented, value presentation?
More general. I made the course yesterday. Not the course, but the whole program, and to just check which videos are we putting in there. At the moment, it's more general. What is a personal brand? Why are people doing personal brands, and why is it so powerful at the moment, right now on social media? How we edit them, I think it's not going to be there specifically, because there are so many content types. Personal brands, you can do it in the fitness niche, you can do it in the money niche, you can do it in the motivation niche, whatever. So it doesn't really make sense to put an editing video, because every niche edits it differently. So
maybe you're posting blogs, maybe you're writing newsletters.
Yeah, exactly. And we're providing with some AI features as well, that you can use for automations. We provide with some marketing to know how to market on your personal brand. So some general like knowledge that needs everybody that we missed back then when we had. So that's the whole point of the free training, to provide them.
And so you're now as well venturing in and building your personal brands. Both of you have, like, I saw separate accounts, but you have a YouTube channel together.
Together, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what would, like, so far, I guess maybe in the like last 2 months with doing this, what has been something that you have understood that you thought was completely different before?
I think the biggest thing that we especially not only understood but also noticed is that the the biggest power is in YouTube, and that's why we started also with YouTube. On one side, because the people here on YouTube are just way more like higher quality, if you want to call it like this. They have a bigger attention span, and you can show them way more. On the other side, on YouTube we can actually show an uncensored version of ourselves. On short form, it's really hard to show yourself without either being unengaging or just the people scrolling away because it's not in their interest. But if people see you, if you have built up a brand, especially on Instagram, and people want to see more of you, want to actually see what are you about, see are you legit, YouTube is the way to go to present yourselves. We're vlogging everything. We've done like 4 or 5 vlogs until now.
How often do you post on YouTube?
Yeah, so it's a recent thing that we started, but we were focusing and posting now once a week.
Yeah.
But we want to expand to that even maybe twice a week, and just get as much content, as much traffic going there as well. So it's just a numbers game. I mean, we just have to start posting, start making more content, also recording everything here what we can use. And yeah, YouTube is just a really big game changer, I would say, and that's why what we really neglected in the last months. But on the other hand, we can also say we didn't have much too long to make a long YouTube video. So I think now is a good time, especially now with finishing school. We have way much time, and we can just also show everything. And I think the most important stuff that we want to achieve with our YouTube is people how to build a business, how to maintain a business, but while still staying yourself, still staying authentic. Because I mean, at the end, we're also not sitting like this every day, just, being professional and just want to be like robots. I mean, it's kind of like the anti-movement of the AI stuff, but I actually show you that we're real humans. I mean, maybe a lot of people can relate to us with doing funny stuff, whatever, but still, I mean, we have to balance it out. Having fun, but also getting somewhere in the life, getting someone.
That's what I also wanted to mention regarding your question. I think the point that we really saw the last 2-3 weeks, on the short form, you cannot present your personal brand that good, because you need that viral stuff so that people actually see it, so that it's actually engaging. And for us, it's way easier to be actually ourselves in the long form. We can actually show what we're doing. We're not just sitting there, as he said, and then just working all day. That is actually engaging for Instagram. We're also doing fun, we're doing jokes about each other, And that's also a big point, like, without long form, you cannot actually show your personal brand. And even you cannot build a personal brand if it's not you, if it's not presenting you. So that's, I think every personal brand is, if necessary, to have long form. Even you can also start with long form rather than starting with short form, in my opinion. And at the end, if you have, I said this yesterday, if you have 100K on Instagram and you stop posting, people will forget you. But on long form, it's completely different. You can have 10K followers or subscribers, and you stop posting, then you have a whole community around you. You're actually concerned, well, what are you doing, So you actually build a community that actually bond to you, rather than just posting some people that just scroll away immediately.
That's very insightful. I would agree with you guys as well. Well, I mean, this is also going on YouTube. I've been doing YouTube videos for some time now. Like I had my first personal brand channel when I was Oh man, I had Minecraft Let's Plays when I was like also 10. I was doing Minecraft Let's Plays, but I didn't have I didn't buy the Minecraft account, so every episode was episode 1, starting from 0 because I couldn't save it. But then like when I was also finishing school, I started doing vlogs because I was filming music videos with one famous rapper here, and like we were doing vlogs of the tour and like behind the scenes of the concerts of the music videos. So like I started building that, and like I got to like YouTube videos to like 30K views and something like that. But here in Latvia, and then we started this endeavor where Carlos is also participating. We have like a community of musicians, beat makers, artists, also some photographers, videographers, and we're like also vlogging like events that we're having, and we're putting out music videos and some documentary movies. It's like really long form content. Like we have videos that are like 40 minutes long and stuff, and the result of that is fascinating. Is like these people that are watching, that are subscribing, they're also coming to events and like participating, and then seeing themselves after on the YouTube video, on the recap, and like we usually post them pretty fast. And so like you go to an event, you have fun, and then you can experience it again on YouTube, and it's like a fascinating platform. Carlos, for example, he's right now switching up the cameras and everything, but he was, before he joined us, he was in the Netherlands, and he was watching our vlogs before he joined the team. So he like already got the vibe what's going on the long form content. He flew here. He's like, yeah, I already know what's happening. Let me let me join in. You know, so it's like a fascinating way to present personal brands. Like we have a community brand. It's not a personal, but there are persons there, but like it still has the same effect of building a community and having people who are returning because they want what you are giving, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know for how long we've been talking, but I feel like we ran through so many different topics. I guess it wasn't recording there. Shit happens. It's fine. So I would ask you guys one last question for...
Okay, could you maybe click on the red button real quick?
So nicht angemacht.
Did it stop, or was it just not recording at all?
Like the first part it was recording, but now the second part.
Oh, that's fine. We have like these cameras as well, so it's like...
I mean, that's more back. Yeah, no.
Well, don't sweat about it. It's fine. I told you 10 viewers, only regular ones, so it's not that deep. So anyway, we have been talking for some time already, and I feel like I learned so much that I didn't know before. And I have one last question to ask both of you guys, and this is towards people who are founders, who are startup founders in their businesses, and who are building some kind of products. Not necessarily content products, courses, but like maybe they have an app for tracking calories, or any kind of product in the modern landscape. Maybe they're selling, I don't know, teaspoons or whatever. But they also are concerned about content. They're concerned about how they're going to market themselves on social media. And they're also... I know people who are checking out like faceless content and brand content, like funny videos, viral videos. Should they do long form or not? Because it's a big investment to do long form. So for people who are concerned about their business, who are every day doing their business, and they are thinking about how to market it on social media, what would one advice be to them?
Me personally, I would recommend, like, if that's number one tip, you have to start on social media, short form, long form, whatever. If you want to scale a startup or whatever, you have to post content online. And the way I would do this is obviously start posting content. I would say short form, as you said, because it's a big investment. And how I would do the marketing is like just providing everything for free in the first place, and just let everyone know what is it about, if it's actually a good product or not. And you can also then enhance the product based on the reviews and stuff like that. So I think the number one priority of any founder or any startup should be that people know what you're doing. And you can do this by doing the short form and providing everything for free first. And then obviously you can think later about the money. So I think that's the best way to go about.
Yeah, so I agree in detail with what he said. I think in generally what I would say starts before you're ready. I think with the time you'll get the hang of it. Me and Tamas, we started also the podcast with our motivational page. If we look back at the videos that we produced back then, we are thinking, what did we do? But back then it was the best thing that we created. Like we thought, damn, wow, that's fire. It has to go viral. Just start. Don't procrastinate. Don't think, maybe this is not good. Maybe that isn't good. Again, it's a numbers game. The more you post, the more outcome you will get. If it's negative outcome, then it's just a matter of time until the good outcome will come. It's also just start posting. Forget about all the perfectioning, about all the being perfect. That's not how it goes. It's about building something steadily, but just start.
Okay, thank you guys so much for flying out here.
Thank you.
Thank you for seeing the city, for joining me on this podcast. It has been an amazing experience. I hope you guys would be staying longer, because now I know that you play piano and we have a whole music studio and you can do some loops or something interesting. It would be very, very fun.
I mean, we can fly out again. I mean,
Hey, it's no problem. I'll be here. I want to go to Vienna as well. I love the amusement park there. There's, I don't know how it's called, but there you like pay €5 and you can go on a ride. Yeah, I've been there multiple times. It's amazing. And then there's also, you have like there's one metro where there's like a clock that's ticking of how many people are in the world. Somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
When I was a kid, I randomly found it walking around. Yeah, so it's an amazing city. I love it. So again, thank you guys for joining in person. I think, like I was ready to film it on the internet, but you guys insisted that we do it in person. I think it's just a much better result, and it's been amazing. Thank you guys.
I appreciate you welcoming us.